I think on the event, the topic of this presentation was digital wallets. I actually rethought it a little bit, so I thought that digital wallets is not the best name for it, so I just used wallets. And we're gonna touch a little bit on security. I think that is one of the crucial points when you're entering the cryptocurrency space, to actually understand what are the threats. And if you're gonna put your cryptocurrency in some specific wallet, you should also understand what kind of security issues you might face. So I hope that after this presentation you will have some sort of understanding about how to navigate in the space of cryptocurrency wallets, and decide for yourself what fits you best and where actually to store your coins. Just a few words about myself. My name is Katya. I'm from Ukraine, living in Norway for a couple of years now. I have marketing background, worked in several fast-moving consumer goods companies, and was on the digital side and the agencies. But the last 5 years I just found interest in cryptocurrency, and particularly in Bitcoin. So the last 5 years I'm working full-time in the cryptocurrency space. I'm myself a Bitcoin enthusiast, but I think it's better to say Bitcoin maximalist. And I'm running Citadel 21 magazine. It's a DIY magazine about Bitcoin, of course. We have a lot of people who want to express their thoughts about Bitcoin's culture, community, why they're into Bitcoin, what they think about the economy, banks, all kinds of different things you can find here. So it is made by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. If you go to, not that I promote it, but it's all free content, so you can just go and read. And just from what we know, that many people found some of the personal stories there really inspirational for them. So I would really recommend it. So just a little stats, a little bit of stats about cryptocurrency. So what we know for today, around 70 million people have digital wallets. It's actually hard to say how many people exactly have the wallets, because one person can have several. You can have some wallets like online based, you can make a wallet on some website, and then you can own several hardware wallets, for example. So it's really hard to say. But at least this is like some number that we can imagine for now. There are more than 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Just if you go to coinmarketcap.com, you can see the full list of existing cryptocurrencies. You will see, of course, that 90% of them go to zero, so people usually focus on the top. But still, Bitcoin is the dominant one. There are 495 exchanges. I think there are actually more. At least a few years ago, there were more than 1,800. But how it usually happens in cryptocurrency space, projects are born and then they go away. But at least there are top 10 that accumulate the vast majority of all cryptocurrency users. And speaking about Norway, there are around 300,000 Norwegians that own cryptocurrency. This is data from NTB. We know that Finanstilsynet, of course, also collects this data. This number grows every year. And I think it's pretty safe to say that 2 years ago, we saw the half of what we have today. So the topic was really popular in the newspapers recently in Norway. Not always from the best, view. But anyways, Bitcoin outperforms gold and stocks in the past 5 years. That was literally the best investment. And the source here is just facts. This is just how it is. And another good thing that it's for everyone. We did a small research in NBIX. Actually, I didn't mention, but I work with Eva in NBIX. But we did our research in NBIX, and we found that just confirmed our observations that people, they do invest in cryptocurrency for different reasons. So different people on different stages of life invest for some particular reasons, as we all have different motivations. So a 20-year-old person would have some specific reason that is different from 45-year-old and so on. And there are really many different reasons for that, which is great because everyone can find something that is relatable exactly to them. So what I just want to say about that probably going down the road and in the future, in some years, more people will buy cryptocurrency. And for example, one of these persons is you already or is going to do that. So you bought your first Bitcoin, like congratulations, but what's next? What do you actually do with it? And the easiest thing you can do is actually to put it into a wallet. And you should choose a wallet that fits you best. And I would say there is really a lot of information about cryptocurrencies, Eva mentioned, and there are a lot of things to talk about. But what I think is important for people who start into this space, or even for people who are a long time in this space, not to be afraid to try more different things, because the market moves forward and new companies arise and the technology moves forward. So for example, many different new wallets arise. So that is also great because you have more ways to store your coins. But just to give you a little bit of overview, like what the wallet consists of, and I'm not going to go into different technicalities, but just to show what is the functionality of the wallet and why exactly you need it, because every cryptocurrency user on a certain stage of their experience will face the necessity to have this wallet. So every wallet consists of a set of private and public keys, not too complicated. It's just a set of strings that you don't even need to know about, copy, paste somewhere, or remember, or manually enter. It is just there. It is encoded into the wallet. Private keys allow you to spend, and public keys allow you to receive. So for example, public keys usually exist either it's a string that you copy paste, or it's the QR code through which you can receive the funds. For example, if someone of you will show me the QR code, I can send you the money there. So this is why it exists. And private keys, actually, it's good to know about them because you shall never ever copy the file of your wallet or disclose your private keys to anyone, because that would transfer ownership of your own funds to that person. Good thing is you never handle private keys, so they just exist, and we just have to know that we never copy the file of the wallet or try to distribute it or do anything with it. And of course, there is a very important component of the wallet is the seed phrase. And it is actually generated when you create a wallet. And it is more important even than knowing about your private keys or public keys when you're only starting to get familiar with crypto wallets. So it deserves its own slide. So a seed phrase is usually 20 or 24 words. So let's imagine that you decided to create a wallet and you, for example, downloaded an application of a wallet. It can be any wallet, but they all work in a certain mode. So you will go through the same process. And the first thing when you create a wallet, it will prompt you with the seed phrase. So this works as a master password to your funds. It is extremely important to memorize the seed phrase or to write down basically this password. And how do you use it? Again, one good thing that it may sound complicated, but the only reason you have to use it is when you need to restore your wallet or do some other things that imply like the full management of your funds. So it's not every day that you use it. It's only in rare cases, but it's extremely important for maintaining your security. And it's basically just a backup of your wallet. So what we talk about here, if you created a wallet, for example, on your PC, you were prompted with a seed phrase, you wrote it down and secured it, stored it in a very secure place. And for example, in a few months, you decided to have wallet on your mobile phone because you want to send money somewhere or you want to follow the balance of your wallet basically on the go if you wish so. With the seed phrase, you can basically restore the same wallet on the mobile phone. So this gives you more flexibility, and this is the crucial thing that you shall keep out of other people's eyes, because if they know the seed phrase, they can do the same. They can restore your wallet on their devices. So there are a lot of different, but there are certain ways how you can protect your seed phrase. There are, for example, metal backups. One of the examples is just like metal beds with letters, so you can create the words from them and keep them like as a small tube and, for example, put it in a safe so no one finds it. But it's not safe to have it written on a paper and keep it somewhere that other people can see it. So maybe it sounds complicated, but it's literally the one important thing that you just have to practice when you start to do it, and you will see that it's not that difficult.
Can I just say something? When you write on a seed phrase, if you write it with a pencil instead of a pen, it lasts for a lot longer. So, it's a good choice to use a pencil.
Yeah, we will actually touch a little bit on the methods, how to keep it long-lasting. I think one of the confusing things for many people when they enter the space is where are actually my coins, because many people think that if you transfer the coins to a wallet, they are kept in this wallet, and if I delete application, I will delete my coins. So that's not actually true. In reality, if you have some coins, they stay on a blockchain. So it's literally just an address on the blockchain. And the wallet is just an interface to your funds, which allows you to send money, to receive money, and do stuff like that. So, and of course the wallet keeps the private keys. So basically the wallet file is your private key. And finally, the wallets. I tried to make the classification of the wallets, and there are really different ways how you can sort them. I would start with the hot and cold wallets. So hot wallets are the wallets that are connected to the internet. As you can imagine, it's not exactly safe. So as we learned, no one shall have access to your wallet. And literally, if you keep it as a hot wallet connected to the internet, let's imagine the laptop or your mobile phone, which are constantly almost connected to internet, it's not going to be super safe because there is risk of hacker attacks, of some kind of malware that if you go to some website and you download it without even you knowing, there is a risk of your funds being swept. Still, they exist. And the cold wallets. Those are the wallets that are not connected to the internet or even computer. And we're going to look at them as well. So just as I mentioned, the hot wallets, the coins are totally exposed to the internet, which is not good. Very high risk because, of course, it's very popular among hackers, and there is really specific malware that searches for wallet files, and then unfortunately you can lose it. But they can exist for transferring very small amounts. So if you want to test out some wallets, it's okay if you install hot wallets and send $1 here, $1 there, just to test out how the transactions work, but it is definitely not recommended. And the hot wallets, everything is online, very low risk, and this is exactly the type of wallets where you can keep the big amounts. And Eva has been talking about the DCA when you buy, for example, Bitcoin recurrently in small or big amounts. So this is exactly the type of wallet where you can, as we say, stack satoshis. So the wallet where you can keep your fortune, basically. And another types of wallets are custodial and non-custodial. Sounds complicated, but actually pretty easy. Custodial is the wallets when you don't hold your keys. Some users find it not attractive. Some users find it attractive. One of the examples are the wallets on exchanges. So for example, if you bought with Kroner some amount of Bitcoin and you have Bitcoin on your balance, it means that your Bitcoin is stored on a wallet on exchange. And that is custodial because you don't have a wallet file on your computer, which means you don't have the keys for it. So it's the exchange who has it. Some users find it not good because, as we say in the space, not your keys, not your funds. But still, why some people choose it is because it lowers your own responsibility. Because we were talking about how it's crucial to keep your seed phrase or keys in a very secure place. That's why people just trust third parties to keep their funds. That is totally their right, and Eva mentioned that, for example, at Norwegian Block Exchange, we have insurance, so whatever you keep on the exchange, we have it insured. And of course, non-custodial, where you hold your keys and you're basically being your own bank. And actually, types of the wallets that we are looking at. We'll touch on the brain wallet, on the paper wallet, software wallets, and hardware wallets. So let's see. But a little quiz. So, do you think mobile wallet, is it hot or cold wallet? Yeah, that's hot wallet because it's connected to the internet. Do you think the brain wallet is hot or cold? Right, that's cold wallets. And I mean, until Elon Musk didn't connect our brains to internet, we're safe. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll post it.
Yeah. The desktop wallet obviously also is hot, but I will show a trick how you can make it cold. But that's for like crazies, really. And the hardware wallet, do you think it's hot or cold? Yeah, that's cold, and I would say there are like really gradations of cold. You can have cold and even colder. Yeah, so which one works for you? And I would say that you have like full responsibility of choosing the wallet. Of course, let's look at the brain wallet. They were popular when basically the whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency thing started, starting from 2007. I would say this is an obsolete way of storing your coins because you can't trust your own memory. What it literally means that you have to memorize your seed phrase, and that is not always good because even if we think that someone may have excellent memory, it can fail you. And yeah, it's cheap, it's free, so you don't have to buy any kind of wallet. But yes, human memory is fallible, so it's better not to trust it. It is highly recommended not to do that. Still, some people do that. But what is the interesting thing is that even if you memorize it, you still have to back it up. So, you know, it's like, it's not really a working way of doing it. And if, for example, a person suddenly dies, or if something happens, some kind of disability when the brain is affected, so the funds will be lost forever. And there have been known stories which ended not good. The paper wallet. The paper wallet is actually also claimed as an obsolete way and also not recommended and not secured because so many things can happen with paper. It can be damaged by water, it can be ripped apart, it can be caught in fire. My dad personally wrote his, I don't remember, was it seed phrase or private keys? So he had a paper wallet, and then he just threw it away with the rest of the papers. So it's really unsafe, and it's better not to trust it. And also, like, speaking a little bit about technical things, for example, some people choose to print their wallets, and some services also allow that. But for example, you also have to understand that if you use a printer, like the data that you send to printer is stored on the printer, on the hard drive for some time. So if someone is really a good hacker, then they can really retrieve your private keys or seed, and then it's basically gone. So if you don't have anything else, it's still acceptable if you, as long as you store it in some kind of bunker, probably. But it's not the best. But it's acceptable. It's easily damaged though, so not the best. Then we have desktop and mobile wallets. So it's basically an app that you can install on your computer or mobile phone. Still, it's connected to internet, so again, not recommended to keep your coins exposed to internet connection. It's super portable, you can carry it with you, you can send money to friends here and there if you want, but again, not for the big sums, don't keep your fortune there. It is hackable. Again, hackers build malware all the time to reach new and new heights. And of course, it can be damaged, and there are known stories when the hard drives are damaged, and the tech is not like damage proof. So if something happens with your hard drive, it might be really difficult to restore it. And again, if you give your hard drive to someone and someone knows about cryptocurrency, they can steal your wallet file, and then they can just tell you, yeah, we couldn't restore your hard drive. And yeah, these stories are also known. Before we go to hardware wallets, I'm not even mentioning online wallets. For example, the wallets where you go to some website.com or whatever and create a wallet there, because it's super not secure, so not even mentioning it. The hardware wallets, today they are understood as or considered as the most secure way to store your coins. And it's suitable for large amounts. But I would say, I would recommend to try hardware wallet to any user, because no one knows what will happen today. Today you have $5 and tomorrow you have 50,000, and in a year you decide to go all in, so it's good to know beforehand where you're gonna handle it. The bad thing, it's not portable. It's not recommended to walk around with a hardware wallet, because some people who know what is a hardware wallet can try to hunt you, and this is not good. So not recommended. And the hardware wallets that exist today, there are actually plenty of them. Here I show just the most popular ones. The Trezor, which you see the first, it's the first hardware wallet that ever existed, and they still produce them. Super successful. I worked in Trezor, and I have to say it's really good that we have this event here, because they have over 1 million devices sold, and 90% of the customers are men. The amount of women is growing, so we're on our way. There is also Ledger. Here you see Cold Card, and that is Bitbox. And there are many others, but these are, I would say, the ones that have the most significant market share, but the main beef is, of course, between Trezor and Ledger. And just to touch a little bit, what I mentioned is how to make the cold wallet colder. For example, here you see Cold Card. So all are the cold wallets, but the Cold Card has a technology that you can use it even without being connected to computer. It is called air-gapped technology. It's really complicated. I'm not gonna talk about it, but so just you know that this is possible. If you want even avoid connecting wallet, for example, once in a while to computer, you can try Cold Card. But the good thing is, for 99% of users, Trezor, Ledger, or Bitbox will be the good choice. And just a small comparison about what we're talking about Trezor or Ledger. So both have over 1,000 coins supported. I would say that Trezor went a little bit further, and they made Bitcoin only firmware. Why this is great? Because today Bitcoin is so to say, the most verified and the most secure network. I mean, it was yesterday, today, and it will stay so in the future. And basically, any other coin just introduces more complexity and more security issues to any wallet that you use, simply because of the amount of the users and many other technicalities. The code is just not possible to break of Bitcoin. With other coins, this is not the case. So if someone ever can break the code of any coin, all users will be affected, and your wallet as well. It will be a security risk. So Bitcoin-only firmware good. It's open source. What does it mean? Open source is a type of software which is distributed under a specific type of license, where users, just like me, Thomas, Eva, you can verify the code of the software. Why this is great is because in Bitcoin space and just why it existed, we all agree that it's good not to have third parties, and so to say, the principle of trustlessness, that you don't have to trust anyone to actually do things with your money. Don't rely on third parties. So open source is like super close to this principle, because it allows anyone to verify the software code and to see if there are any mistakes, if there will be any kind of improvements that are possible to make. And for example, all the software of Trezor is just publicly available. So if you have knowledge, you can check it yourself. And basically, people improve the code all the time together. It's available for PC. You can connect it to mobile. And the good thing for both wallets, no notable hacks. So far, no one could break any of those wallets. And even if there were some security issues, they were already mitigated. So, yeah. The bad thing about Ledger, though, they recently, or maybe not so recently, but I would say that users are still affected. They had a marketing database breach. So many users started to receive phone calls from scammers, which is not great, because if your identity was leaked to the internet and these people know that you own cryptocurrency, I mean, it's a security risk for you. Not only internet, but also for some people, like a physical risk, which is not good. Yeah, but there is a nuance how to make the cold wallet colder, and this is more of like a joke, but it still exists. And I would say that some companies who hold solid amounts of cryptocurrency, they use this method. And actually, I'm talking about the Faraday Cage. I don't know if you heard about it or not. But it's a specific setup that actually protects whatever you put inside from electromagnetic impulses. So for example, if you're a big person who holds a lot of cryptocurrency, like a very significant sum, so you may be super paranoid and be afraid of some advanced methods of like scanning electronics to find out if you have any there. So some cryptocurrency companies use it. So it usually looks like a specific room in the office, for example, which is just protected from electromagnetic impulses. And of course, nothing there is connected to the internet. So if you go there, you can do your transactions or open the wallet, and no one else has access. And whatever stays in that room stays in that room. And if you're curious about the Faraday Cage, I recommend this movie. It's called The Conversation from '74. It's about a paranoid surveillance expert who built a Faraday Cage for himself because he was afraid that someone is spying on him. That's a really cool movie. And extra protection for the hardware wallets. You can, it's not necessary to build a Faraday Cage, but you can have a Faraday bag. It's pretty geeky and extreme, but You know, today we have these wallets that have a specific plate, which doesn't allow, for example, scammers to, for example, sweep your funds from the credit cards on from the distance. So, I mean, you can buy these wallets in Morris or something. And it's really cool because we know about the cases when you were just standing with your phone with which you pay in stores, and then suddenly the funds were swept because just someone had a device and they were just standing near you and they swept the coins. So Faraday bag for hardware wallet. But what I would say, there are a lot of things to talk about security, and I think what's the most important is to evaluate your threat model. So if you hold significant sums and you think that you can be under someone's eye, then you really have to think about maybe building a Faraday cage. But if you're just like us, simple plebs, holding some funds, it's not necessary to build Faraday cages. Just choose a wallet that fits you best, and the one that is secure. I personally recommend to use hardware wallet. It can be in combination desktop, mobile, and hardware wallet. And I would recommend to keep the most of your funds on the hardware wallet. And whatever you need for day-to-day transactions, if you do them, just use desktop or mobile. And a little surprise, thank you. And I talked to Trezor people, and I have a little bit more than 20 limited amount, 100% discount codes for Trezor One. Just hit me up. I would recommend to hit me up on the email because I'm checking it more frequently. And I will send you the promo code so you can try how to work with a hardware wallet.
As the old saying, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean hackers aren't hunting me.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the name of the movie?
Of the wallet?
Movie?
Oh, of the movies, sorry. That Conversation.
Do you know where it is?
Not sure. No.
YouTube, Netflix, Viaplay.
Yeah, somewhere definitely shall be. Do you have any questions about the wallets, about anything?
I have a question about how do I know which coins I can store on the wallet?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not all coins you can store.
Yeah.
Hardware.
Yeah, well, you just have to check which coins the wallet support. And if you, for example, bought coins on the exchange, you just send them to the corresponding address of the receiving wallet on your wallet. So they publish information about what kind of coins can be stored inside. Yeah. And then you just go to the wallet and you just copy the address.
I also heard there's some workaround that you can, download some apps from a website to still get them on your hardware. Even if they're not actually belong there.
No, I think that the modern wallets, or at least, I mean, if you hold some exotic coins, it will be probably difficult to find a wallet that can store them. But as far as I know, if it's based on Ethereum, you can use practically any Ethereum wallet. If it has its own blockchain, that it might be an issue, because it takes a lot of programming work from the developers of the wallets to add new coin, because then it affects the whole code of the wallet. So.
Can you also say a couple of words about you were talking so much about security. Can you say something about VPN? Why is that so important for us traders? Because I haven't understood that part.
Yeah, I would say, like, the VPN part is that either you want to be tracked on the web, either not. And for example, in China, the cryptocurrency is prohibited, and of course they don't have access to cryptocurrency exchanges or any cryptocurrency wallets, so they are obliged, if they want, of course, so they risk, and they install VPNs, and then they can use it, because then the network sees them as the person entering from some other country, not China. Why it is important for traders, I think it really depends, again, either you want to be tracked or not. For example, me, if I want to go to Discover in US, I use VPN because I can't access some series from Norway. But I wouldn't say it's mandatory if you're trading to use VPN. I wouldn't say it's mandatory.
Because whenever I go and buy a new computer, they always want to try and sell me like VPN software. You know? And
maybe they have.
Because I used to have it through my bank.
Yeah.
But the bank stopped doing the VPNs, so now they just have like normal malware software kind of.
Yeah.
There's no VPN included anymore, so I'm trying to make up my mind whether I should buy it or not.
Well, you would use a VPN if you needed to have like an open bridge to access somewhere, and it was blocked from whatever you're
Okay,
using.
so as long as I can get into wherever I want to get into, I don't really need it.
No.
Thank you.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I
think.
guess
There was a question.
My question has been, at what point, like obviously, so you should use, say, a hardware right away. But if you're like very new and you're like, you know, too much maybe right away. At what point, like, would you be like, at this point, hackers are really looking for you? Is it at a certain amount or something like that?
No, I think it's basically at the point when you feel comfortable with the hardware wallet. So what you could do is, if you're new, you can keep your coins on the exchange, for example, but it's not recommended to do it all the time because, of course, every exchange works super hard on security, but, you know, things can happen and it can be hacked or something, and we know what happened to Binance. Like, over time, they had several security issues and some hacks, so that happened. That's why it is not recommended to hold cryptocurrency there. But also, of course, because you don't own the private keys, which means that you are not the owner. So I would say that it is really, you know, one thing is about the alignment with the principles in the space. It is believed that you are your own bank. So since we try to eliminate third parties, it is also believed that you have to be able to maintain your own funds, and then of course you take some level of responsibility of maintaining it, and one of the things is, of course, where do I store it? That's why you have like the different wallets, like the brain paper and stuff like that, so you can manage your own funds, you can transact without third parties and stuff like that. I would recommend it even to beginners. I personally use Blockstream Green Wallet. It's very easy, it's super intuitive wallet and really convenient. It's a desktop and mobile wallet. If you just go to App Store, you will find the app and, for example, just send some, you know, some small amounts to the wallet, try to send it here and there, like practice with friends how to transact, just see how it all works. And when you're confident and you decided to, so to say, like buy some amount and then, you know, just put it on the wallet and like forget it until you decide to spend it, for example. So I think it's just one of the key things that everyone will sooner or later face, and I think it's about just being confident when you can do it, when you confident with it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, but I guess like the disadvantage with the holdt wallet is that you can never get as high staking rewards as you will with the exchange, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I cannot discover it. I'm too greedy at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it is just what you said. So it's just something, you know, that you put and you like kind of forget about it. So it's not that you like carry hardware wallet with you. It's a security risk, and yeah, just online desktop wallets or exchanges are great for staking. Yeah. That was it. Thank you.